Hello everyone, Stark here once again, and now guys, I'm doing a build order for you to want to do Drush and Fast Castle. Have you ever seen those guys that rush and at 17 minutes they have a lot of crossbows? Well, this is the build order of how you can do it, okay? It's really similar, the start of this build order is really similar to the build order of the Drush and archers. So if you have ever seen the build order of Drush and archers, I recommend you to do so. It's really good one to play on the feudal age, and this one here is for the Drush and fast castle. Also guys, I would like to advise you to do something. If you have a map that is hard to defend, you have front goals and exposed resources, I do not recommend you to make this build order because it's hard for you on the feudal age. But in maps where you can make a few palisades, protect yourself, your resources are good to protect, well, those are the maps that this build order will excel at, okay? So, after these recommendations, let's go back to the build order. I'm also assuming that this build order can be done by any civilization, that's why I'm using the Saracens to demonstrate, and also I'm going to assume that you are playing a regular map with 8 ships, 2 boars and a pack of 6 berries. So in other maps you might have to adjust small details to make this build order work. Okay, let's go. I just found more sheep. I like to do always let the ships close to the one that's being eaten, so they know that they are the next to be eaten, and this will reduce the idle time of your villagers. Okay, if you have seen other build orders, you probably have seen me talking about this. I hope you can enjoy it. Those are basic build orders, and after I send 4 villagers to get for me the ship, I will send. Oh, sorry. After I send 6 first villagers to the ship, I will send the next 4 ones to the wood. So just make a lumber camp in some wood that is good for you and send the other villagers there. Now that I'm eating the 4th ship, I must go and get the boar. And guys, the idea here is to have 8 villagers on the boar. So I will just send a villager after this one to make a house and get the berries. But later on, I'm gonna go back and get 8 villagers to the boar. I like this number because it's almost perfect to get the boar. If you have like 5 villagers, you will lose most of the food of the boar. If you have like 12, man, you are gonna eat the boar so fast and your villagers will be all around the TC without knowing what they have to do, so that's not what I like to do. Okay, so I killed the boar, and I'm going to make another villager. So I can keep like 8 villagers on the boar. I'm finishing to make this house on the berries. You can see guys, I have 4 lumberjacks, 8 hunters, and now I will start sending villagers to the berries. I already know where my other boar is, so I won't have problems with this. And also guys, you need to know where your gold is, because like the Drush build order, you always need to get a few more resources. Huh? I will also make another house here. And maybe already push the other boar because the food might run out. After you find your resources, you need to find your enemy, so always try to find your resources as fast as possible. Right now I know, for example, where are my most important resources, and I'm going to send this villager here, the builder, to go for the gold, because I need 10 more gold to make the loom after I spent my resources on the militias. Ooh, the boar's coming here, huh? Big fat boar. I suggest you to leave 6 villagers on the berries, so after the 8 hunters that are on the TC, the other villagers are all coming to the berries with the exception of the villager who was building houses for me, this one, and now is getting 10 more gold, okay? I'm about to have enough wood to make a barrack, so I'm just gonna do the barrack. I like to do it most in front that I can, so it can protect my resources later. I can, for example, build my my buildings here in the front. Now I have 5 villagers on the berries, one more to complete. And if you guys have seen the build order of the Drush into men at arms, this one is really similar to it. The difference is that I will make the militia first and I will attack first, and instead of going full aggressive, I'm going to develop my economy. So right now, guys, and I want you to fix this number, I have 14 villagers on the food, okay? 14. 8 hunters and 6 on the berries, and I'm starting to make the militia. When I finish eating the boar, I will start eating the sheep. I like to leave like 2 sheep around the boar so I can start go with 4 villagers to each one, like I'm gonna do this. And now, guys, I started to make more villagers to the wood. I'm putting 5 villagers on this one. I already had 4 and I'm doing a bit more. And now I'm sending a villager to make a second lumber camp. Okay? I'm also doing the militia, so I will be able to attack my enemy. And I'm doing a regular 3 militias drush here. It's the basics. I will also build another house here. I'm sending more villagers to the wood, guys. I want to have 5 villagers in each one of my woods. This build order can be adapted using deers and other food resources if you have, like this pack of deers here, but I'm gonna do a simple one using only farms, so even if your map does not have deers, so you can do this build order. That's why I'm gonna do like this, okay? It's a really basic one, and I hope that you guys can use this. Now that I have the militia, I can do an attack with them. The most time that you buy with your militia, the best your economy will be. If you feel the need, you can also leave the villager that was building houses to keep making defenses for you, like palisades, which are a great one. And now that I have 5 villagers in each wood, well, I will just start making farms, guys, around my TC. The next villagers can just born here to keep making getting wood, and I suggest you to try to make the 8 farms. So do you remember that we had 8 hunters? Well, the hunters now have become farmers. This is how the civilization grows. We'll stop hunting and you start making farms. Interesting, yeah? That's an history lesson for you. I'm finishing to eat the sheep. I'm starting to make the farms. I already have 5, 6. You can be attacking your enemy using the drush. Right here, for example, I'm trying to disturb him. Okay, kill the villager. Now I'm running. And I will make the loom. Guys, you need to send 4 villagers to the gold after you have your 8 farmers. Oh, my enemy is here trying to lose his scout, This villager here will be the last farmer. So right now, guys, I have 8 farmers and the other villagers are all going to the gold. Let's not forget that still with the 14 villagers that I had on the beginning getting food. I had 8 hunters. Then they finish eating my sheep, and now they are all making farms. You could have, for example, less farmers because you could be using, for example, the deers. That could work just fine. And the idea, guys, here is that I'm not going to make crossbows, okay? So that's why I'm getting gold, and I have all these guys on the wood. My plan here is after I finish the Feudal Age upgrade, I'm going to build 2 buildings. One archery range and a blacksmith, so I can start making archers while I go to the Castle Age. I'm finishing get the berries, so after I get the berries, I will have to relocate these villagers maybe. Ho, kill the scout. My enemy is saying shit about me, eh? Nah, come on. As you can see, when you are about to reach the Feudal Age, a good sign that you will be able to up is that you have 14 villagers on the food, like I do have here, and you also have 1500 food on the bank. I'm also going to add 2 more farms since my berries are about to run off, so I'll have 10 farms, guys. With 10 farms, I will have a huge economy capable of leading me to the Castle Age. I will already set my town center to the gold, and I will send 3 villagers to make the buildings. Making 2 more villagers, and I'm building the archery range with 2 villagers, and the blacksmith with just 1, so I can finish them both at the same time after I finish these 2 villagers, and I can go up. I'm also gonna send 2 of those villagers to the gold, so I will have 8 villagers on the gold, and the other 2 that are left are going 1 to each one of the woods. So let's make an easy count here, okay? I will have 80 villagers on the gold, 10 farmers and 6 villagers in each wood, making it 12 villagers on the wood, okay? Pretty simple, right? Now that I've done it, I'm gonna click up, and with no problem, I just click up. One of the villagers from the wood, you can use him to make a house, and later on the second archery range. You need a lot of miners in the beginning because you are not also only doing archers. We will also have to make upgrades like the fletching, like the crossbowman upgrade. Oh, my enemy is trying to make skirmishers. The Drush is here. That's the objective of the Drush. You need to use this to buy time for you, okay? So always do this. And the first upgrade that you have to do once you have 100 food is the wood upgrade, okay? Always do this, man, as soon as you can. Now I'm doing the wood upgrade, and I'm making making archers that will in the future become crossbows. Another suggestion that I have for you is to always build like if you were closing your base, like I'm doing here, okay? As you can see, I'm building those houses in the Dark Age, so my enemies cannot pass to my wood without going to the town center. Now I'm finishing to close this area. Later, I just need to add more buildings to this area here. Or, if I wanted, just a few palisades, so you don't have to make a lot of stone walls to protect yourself. A few buildings are enough for you to do this. And right now that I'm about to reach Castle Age, I will have to upgrade my archers. I can start by making the fletching, still in the Feudal Age, is the +1 attack, and I want to make the upgrade of the crossbows later on. My army here is denying the skirmishers to attack me, but if their skirmishers were already here, I would just have to retreat a bit my army. As you guys can see, I also have a big pack of wood, that I can use to make a town center straight on or just remake my farms. You can start booming soon, or you can fix your economy first. I suggest you to fix your economy first before you start doing rapid booming. Now that I'm on castle, I'm starting to make the crossbowman upgrade and the wood upgrade. Those are the most essential upgrades that you can. Some people like to do the mining camp upgrade, some others like to do the bodkin arrow, some others like to do the horse collar, but those 2 are the essential ones, okay? Now that you did it, you can, for example, remake your farms. You keep making archers, you have the +1 attack and a lot of archers. I'm going to make the horse collar because by now my farms are about to go down in the farms that I built on the Castle Age, and with this wood bank I can remake all the farms that will be here, guys. I will let each of the farms to go off so we can see that it's possible. I will let a villager just building here, and as soon as I can, I will choose what upgrade is more important for me. Sometimes you are in a situation where you have to fight other crossbows. Then I recommend you to make the bodkin arrow. In some other situations, you might need to go for the booming. You can do this as well. Oh, the first farm is going on, second one. You can just remake, so 2 farms went down. There are those others about to go as well. I'm remaking all the farms. Also, the mining camp upgrade, keeping making crossbows. This is a strong armor of crossbows. I'm sending all the villagers that are born in here to the woods. Another farm down. And if you want, for example, you can do a lot of things right now. If you want to push your enemy with only 1 TC, you can start making mangonels. You have the wood and the gold for it. If you want, you can do the ballistics. You can do the bodkin arrow if you just save food for a second. Uh, some guys like to postpone the horse collar and the gold mining and having the +2 already, so if you are an aggressive player, you might use this extra range to do this. And right now, guys, after I've done all of it and I'm finishing to remake my farms, if I want, I can start to boom. So to boom, it's quite simple. I just do 2 more town centers since I didn't use my stone, and I keep making the economy. For example, here I can do a town center here, other one here on the stone. Quite simple, huh? It's 20 minutes. When I reach, for example, the 22 mark, I might have 3 town centers working. A good rule for you is to count at least 6 farmers for each town center, so you might need to make more farms, guys. If you don't feel comfortable in adding 2 town centers, you can add 1 first, balance your economy and add 1 later. Okay. All the villagers are getting wood in the maximum rate that they can because they have both upgrades. The mining camp has been upgraded. I have the horse collar. Now I can do the bodkin arrow. And already prepared to make more farms. I have 10 TCs on the first town centers. So with 2 more, I will have 12. So these 2 town centers right now are sustainable. They can sustain each other. Let me remake those 2 farms here, huh? 5 and 6. They are the ones that I did after I clicked Castlevage. And now I'm starting to make more farms to support this town center here. The third TC. So this is, I'm also extending this build order so I show how you can balance your economy. Remember always to keep making farms. Sometimes you want the town centers just to protect some resources. For example, right now my gold is protected, my stone as well. The other parts of my map are all walled and I'm keeping making the crossbows. From now on, you can do whatever you want. Some players just want to boom and do arbalests. Some others want to make mangonels. You might want to do the ballistics. Anything is possible. You have crossbows that can sustain themselves. You have 3 TCs that are also sustaining themselves because I'm about to have 18 farms. Huh? Okay, so I have right now 17. Right now 18 farmers. And that might be a good time for you to make the horse collar, because you are about to have 50 villagers. So with this, you can make the horse collar. Guys, I think I've done the build order of the crossbows and version that fast castle into crossbows. Now I'm making a wheelbarrow. Your economy now, guy, it's going to fly. So if you are fighting, for example, a guy who tried to go for feudal archers, right now he's reaching castle and you are already in castle with all those crossbows and you have 3 TCs already working. So the biggest advantage of going Drush and fast castle is that you'll be able to boom first than your enemy and make also army that has big range first than him. So it's a great build order. For example, here now I can add a university to make the ballistics later. You just have to keep getting wood, sending your villagers to the wood as well, and you have the resources for it. Okay? Well guys, I think there is no more secret here. Now I can stop, and also if you want to go Imperial, just add a few more farms, make a church, and you are going to be up in a few minutes. That's it for the Drush and fast castle. You see, that was a 16 and 50 up to the castle, really quick one. 51 villagers, 33 army, big number of villagers and a lot of crossbows. That's the power of the Russian fast.